Okay, so here's the second page of lesson 5. We're going to see if we can remember that when we multiply or divide by a negative, our sign has to flip. Taking a look at number 1, I don't see any negatives, so I'm not worried about this one. This one, I'm just going to draw my separator line right here, noticing that that's not an equal sign. That is a less than or equal to, so it's a little tiny bit different. X is not alone because it's being multiplied by 8. The opposite of multiply is divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 8 so that we have 1x left here. We don't have an equal sign, so we have to remember to bring down our less than or equal to sign, and 40 divided by 8 is 5. The variables on the left, which makes it easy to graph, I'm going to label only 3 of these, even though I've given you more. You only need to label 3 of them. I'm going to label 4. I'm going to skip that one. 5. I'm going to skip that one. 6, because I like it nice and spread out and neat. You can label that one 7 if it makes you feel better. We're going to put a closed circle at 5 because it can be less than or equal to 5. And then anything less than 5 is to the left. Less than is left. And notice my arrow's pointing left, so this arrow's pointing left. When we do a check for a problem like this, the thing is we can pick any of the numbers that fall on the number line going this way. A student, probably 15, 20 years ago, came up with this great idea that they either use negative 100, 0, or positive 100, because that pretty much covers anything in our realm here on the number line. So if I look at this number line, 0 is definitely going to be part of the solution. So I'm going to check 0. 8 times 0 is less than 40, and that is indeed true. So if you use these 3 numbers for your check, it makes your check very easy to see if you shaded correctly or not. In this case, you can check the 5, but it doesn't help you determine if you've shaded correctly. So you can check the 5 also. 8 times 5 is less than or equal to 40. I forgot the equal to part, and that is also true. Okay, let's do number 2, and then I'll do another video for the other ones. Okay, number 2. Now this one I see a negative, so I'm on a little bit of a high alert here. I'm going to draw my line separating the 2 sides. G is not alone because it's being multiplied by negative 2. I'm going to do the opposite of multiply, which is divide, and I'm going to divide by that negative. Divide by a negative. Ding, 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 ding. Whenever I hear myself say in my head that I'm going to divide or multiply by a negative, I automatically take this sign and I flip it. It was pointing to the right. Now it's going to point to the left. So I'm going to put a star here with some ringing. Ding, 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 ding. This is a huge signal to me when I hear myself say divide by a negative. That symbol has to flip. Now I'm left with G is less than or equal to negative 5. Now, if you're a little worried, you want to do your check before you do your graph, I don't blame you. You want to make sure you've got that in the right spot. Make sure when you do your check that you're using this original statement, because it's a greater than sign up there. So let's see. Negative 2. Let's pick something less than negative 5. Is 0 less than negative 5? No. So I'm actually going to pick negative 100. Is that greater than 10? Negative times a negative is a positive 200. Is that greater than 10? Yes, it's very clear. So this is a correct answer, and now we can graph it. Remember when you're graphing negatives that the negatives count backwards. It appears that they do anyway. -6, -5, -4, -3. This is an open circle in -5 because it doesn't have that extra line underneath it. And then we are going to shade in the direction that the answer is pointing. The answer down here is pointing to the left. And you know that -100 is going to be down here, and that's what we checked. So there's the first two. One you have to flip, one you don't.